My name is Chase Sr. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. And no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And coming up here over the next several minutes, ESPN handed out offseason grades for all 32 teams in the NFL. And ESPN thinks that San Francisco crushed it with what they did this offseason. But this article is on ESPN+. They make you pay up to $144 per year to just access content like that. Today and every day, right here on this channel, we give it to you 100% free. I will never put content behind a paywall right here on the Niners Report. I care about the faithful. I know you love the content, and that's why you subscribe to the channel. So join the movement for the best, most elite Niners coverage every single day right here on YouTube. So ESPN handing out their offseason grades to every team in the NFL, and they took a look at what all of these squads did during the draft and free agency. And ESPN handed the Niners an A- grade. That might surprise a lot of people, but I like what John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and this organization did this offseason. Not a full rebuild, but a reset, and it was much needed after last year's 6-11 season. The biggest move that the Niners made this offseason, of course, handing out that contract extension to Brock Purdy. The move that ESPN liked the most was bringing back Robert Saleh to be their next defensive coordinator. The move that ESPN disliked, none. Literally a move. There was not a move, that ESPN did not like for San Francisco. Now, here's what ESPN had to say about the overview of the Niners offseason. After a disappointing 6-11 year, the Niners opened up their offseason by bringing back Saleh, their defensive coordinator from 2017 to 2020. Though his head coaching tenure with the Jets was shaky, his defense is ranked in the top 5 in expected points added per play in 2022, 2023, and the first 5 weeks of 2024 before he was fired. After the firing, get this, the Jets defense plummeted to 30th in EPA per play. I've said this a couple of times, but I think the Niners' hiring of Robert Saleh is one of the best moves that any team made this entire offseason. I'm talking trades, free agency pickups, and draft selections. The upgrade from Nick Sorensen, clearly an over his skis, not cut out for the job, to Robert Saleh, massive. And I think it's going to result in a huge defensive turnaround right away. And I think that Saleh is immediately going to improve this Niners defense, where those results will yield positive results right from the jump. Back to what ESPN had to say about this Niners offseason. San Francisco's biggest move came when Purdy's long-awaited extension finally happened, as the Niners gave their quarterback a deal worth $53 million per year with $100 million in fully guaranteed money. There are mixed opinions about Purdy's exact level of responsibility for the Niners' passing success, but he's a perfect fit for what they want to do. San Francisco reached elite levels of passing efficiency with Purdy in 2023, performing at a higher level than it managed to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. The deal was also cheaper than I expected. If it had been $60 million per year, it would have been in line with Trevor Lawrence's and Jordan Love's 2024 deals when adjusting for salary cap inflation, and I wouldn't have blinked. This is what a lot of people don't realize about this Purdy contract. There was a chance that he was going to get $57 to $60+ million. Dak gets $60 per year. I think Purdy is better. Some people were saying that Purdy was going to become the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL, the highest paid player in the history of the NFL. For him to get 55, he's tied for 7th. And soon, with salary cap inflation, with the salary cap continuing to go up, with these new quarterbacks who will get new deals like a C.J. Stroud, like a Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, probably in line for a new deal soon because his old deal is outdated, they are going to get so much more money, between $60 and $70 million. And if Purdy plays well, that deal could end up being a discount. Don't just look at the financial numbers. Look at the intricacies of it and listen to somebody like me who can walk you through some of the fine print. More from ESPN here. Before free agency, the Niners traded Deebo Samuel to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick. It was a year too late, though that's easy to say with the benefit of hindsight. Samuel's production has declined. He recorded only 670 receiving yards and 1.8 yards per route run in 2024. He has always scored poorly in open and catch scores in ESPN's receiver tracking metrics, which didn't matter at his peak because he essentially broke the yards after the catch score scale. But his YAC score has steadily declined. And with him being 29, I doubt it will ever reach its previous highs. The Niners did well to get a day 3 pick to avoid paying him $17.5 million in 2025. They also have options to replace his production. I think trading away Deebo Samuel is going to benefit this Niners offense. I look at this move as an addition by subtraction. Number one, he's a declining player. Clearly not the same with his ability to pick up yards after the catch. He's never been a good route runner. And last year, Kyle Shanahan tried to force feed him the ball. It made this Niners offense worse. Brock Purdy is at his best when he can play point guard, spread the ball all over the yard. I also think that with Deebo departing, that means that George Kittle will become more of a part of the Niners passing game, which makes this Niners offense better. Now, ESPN giving the Niners a pretty good grade here for what they did this offseason. Now it's time for you to give the Niners an offseason grade. A, B, C, D, or F. Join the conversation down in the comment section. Our 49ers Report hats are available. Just got a new shipment in recently. If you want one to support the Niners and to support the show, you can get one today for $40. All you have to do is Venmo me $40 at Chase_Senior. You see the username right here. You also can scan that QR code and you can send me an easy Venmo. This is a great way for you to support everything that we do here on the channel, and I will get that hat sent out to you very, very quickly. San Francisco also doled out big money extensions to 2 more core players, Fred Warner and George Kittle. The Niners paid Warner $21 million per year, but without a ton of risk. The deal features only $21 million fully guaranteed per over the cap. Warner is worth it, and the extension comes in much lower in terms of average per year than his 2021 deal if we adjust for cap inflation. Kittle also got a raise. He had been scheduled to earn $15 million in the final year of his deal, but instead agreed to a new deal that averages $19 million per year with $35 million fully guaranteed. It would not have been outlandish to have traded the 31-year-old, but if things break right for San Francisco, they'll be back in the title hunt. Keeping Kittle, coming off a great year, would be my choice too. Look, you just don't move off of players like Fred Warner and George Kittle, who are part of the fabric of your organization, who are going to be 49ers Hall of Famers, and they could be NFL Hall of Famers with 1 or 2 more really good years. And look, I think that those contracts are well worth it, considering the players that they still are. Fred Warner is still one of the top defensive players in the game. George Kittle, given his blocking and pass-catching ability, is the best tight end in the game. I know that they're starting to get a little bit older, but for the most part, they've both been very durable, and they mean so much to this Niners organization. It's not like we've seen some clear signs of decline like we saw with Deebo. These players are still playing at a very high level. The 49ers suffered significant losses in free agency. Aaron Banks, Charvarius Ward, Jalen Moore, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw. But I thought most of these departures made sense for the team. San Francisco also made a win-win trade for Bryce Huff, giving up a day 3 pick for the former Jets and Eagles pass rusher. The Niners are paying Huff under $8 million to find out whether they can recapture some of his New York magic. Look, I've said this a couple of times. Everybody wants to make a big deal of the players who the Niners lost. A lot of them barely played or didn't play much or missed a lot of time for San Francisco last year. And to give up a 5th, which can become a 4th for Bryce Huff, look, he's a great scheme fit for San Francisco. The Niners needed a player like that. He gives you 8 to 10 sacks for less than $8 million. A huge win for the Niners. And again, they needed that type of player. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here. Join the movement right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. The coverage, it never stops.